Hi, welcome to the very first episode of my show. I'm Weston Sanae, owner of Cascadia Motors in Portland, Oregon. Today, we're going to talk about vehicle history reports, commonly referred to as the Carfax, or Carfaxes, or Carfaxi, Carfaxes, however you could plural that. There's another vehicle history report, that's the actual terminology, vehicle history report, that is available as well called AutoCheck, but no one really cares about that. Maybe some people do, but we can talk about that on another episode. So when someone says a vehicle has a bad Carfax, generally speaking, it doesn't mean that the car has a branded title like reconstructed or salvage or mileage rollback or flood damage or some other nasty problem. What it means is that there was an accident or damage occurred to the vehicle at some point in its life, and that damage was reported to the vehicle history report company. In other words, Carfax or AutoCheck. And generally speaking, the result of whatever happened in the car business, we call that paintwork, assuming that they had to paint the car to fix it, which if you replace a body panel on a car or try to repair it, there's going to be some paintwork on the car. And the reason we use paintwork, the term paintwork, is because we don't really know what happened. You can look at a fender and go, okay, that was painted, but there's really no way to say, was it completely smashed to bits? Well, you probably could tell if it was smashed to bits. Was it replaced? Was there a ding in it? Was it keyed? Was it hit with a bat? We don't know. In the last year or so, Carfax started making a distinction between the things that cause paintwork into two categories. It used to be that everything was an accident. Well, almost everything. So if a tree fell on your car, it was an accident report. If someone broke into your car, it was an accident report. If you actually got into an accident, it's an accident report. Now we have what's called a damage report as well as an accident report. So accident report means that there was a collision. Generally speaking, two cars got involved with each other and it was reported as an accident. Damage report means that something happened that caused damage. Generally speaking, a damage report would be something more along the lines of, let's say you backed into your mailbox, parking lot fender bender. You're a trash person and someone keyed your car as a result. So the main difference here is that there's no actual record of a car crash happening. Now, that said, your damage report could still be the result of a car crash. It could have just been in a way that there was no crash reported. People get into wrecks and then just get it fixed on their own, but then a damage report will still pop up. As common as accidents and damage are on vehicle history reports, I don't think that Carfax and AutoCheck report even half of them. I come across cars every day with a clean Carfax that have easily identifiable paintwork on them. Some of these cars have been painted like 6 ways from Sunday. Like they've had like 2 or 3 like damaging, something happened. And some of them have been messed up so bad, they're no longer roadworthy, or at least I certainly wouldn't be comfortable selling one in my store. Most of the time, cars with paintwork are not bad cars. Generally speaking, they've had a body panel or two replaced or repaired. The damage that did occur hasn't affected the integrity of the vehicle's frame or chassis or safety systems, and the repair was done right. Now, the funny thing is that you could say the same thing about a lot of cars with a good Carfax, meaning no damage or accidents reported. The idea that a car without paintwork is worth more than a car with paintwork is kind of silly. Now, the main exception to this is that if the car is a collector vehicle of some kind, it's really special. Like if I had a 1970 Mercedes that had the original paint on it from when it was brand new and had never been painted at all. It's just 100% original. And on top of that, the paint is beautiful and shiny. That's a really rare and kind of special thing if you're a car collector. So that makes the car worth more money. If you're driving a 2013 Honda Civic and it's just a go machine to get you from A to B every day, okay, yeah, maybe you love it and it's cool looking, but you're going to trade it in 5 years or sell it. You put 100,000 miles on it. The next guy's going to put 50 or 100,000 miles on it, or they're going to smash it into a tree. And at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter if your fender was painted. There will be no discernible difference in reliability, fuel economy, how comfortable it is, any of the things that actually matter. Now, okay, I will say that the one potential downside is that if the repair was done poorly, this is all predicated on the idea that the repair was done right. If the repair was done poorly and the clear coat's too thin, or that it's just like full of Bondo, or just, you know, it was just bad, and it's going to come back to haunt you in a couple of years. If you have a 10 or 15-year-old car and it has a little bit of paintwork on it, chances are that the area that was painted because of new paint technology and simply because it's not as old will hold up better than the rest of the paint on your car. So generally speaking, me or any other dealer or any other person selling a car will be selling their car with a bad Carfax for considerably less than a vehicle with a good Carfax. And now that we've kind of gone over the differences between what makes a good Carfax and a bad Carfax, why are you paying more money for a car with a good Carfax when it could just as easily have paintwork as a car with a bad Carfax? On a $30,000 or $40,000 or $50,000 car, this could mean a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 discount. Some cars with a bad Carfax are ridiculously hard to sell. Now, on a cheaper car, like a $4,000 or $5,000 car, might not be worth anything. Might be worth a couple $100, maybe $500. It doesn't quite make sense to pay a premium for a vehicle with a good Carfax, given that there's a decent chance that it may already have paintwork on it, and who cares if it does? So the main downside to owning or buying a car with a bad Carfax report is that if you ever decide to trade in or sell your vehicle, they're going to expect to get that car for less than, you know, an identical car without the collision history. If you're the type of person that buys a car and just drives it till the wheels fall off or till it's worth only maybe $4,000 or $5,000 and then sells it or trades it in at that point, well, then it's not such a big deal. Now, here's the kicker. Let's say you ignore what I say and you hunt down a car with a good Carfax report or auto check report, and you buy it and you're happy as can be, and then you get into a car accident yourself, or you get into a parking lot fender bender or whatever. Your car's been fixed, it's as good as new, and you're happy. But now that is going to pop up on the vehicle history report, and now when someone buys that car from you, they're going to use it as a negotiating point to lower the value of your car. Carfax and AutoCheck, generally speaking, are always trying to get additional data to put in their vehicle history reports. They will form a new relationship with an insurance company or some other data source, and they will just hand over, let's just say 10 or 15 or 20 years of claims history and just say, hey, here's all the claims that we ever had. Here's all the cars that we ever had to pay to get fixed. And now all of a sudden there's old accident history popping up on vehicle history reports. I know this because I've had this happen to cars in my own inventory. Bought a really nice Toyota Camry, and then like literally 2 weeks later, accident report on the Carfax. If it did have a bad Carfax when I initially bought it, I would have paid less money for it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like or subscribe button below. Next time, I'll be talking about how I actually use Carfax myself when I'm shopping for vehicles to put for sale in my store.